I can hear you now. I did the exact same thing again. I saw Matthew West admit is in the waiting room, and I went, "Can't hear me? Ah, that's a problem.
Why I can't hear it?
I'm going to take a little photo and stick this on the stories. Carry on your stories.
Rolling with my stories. Very good.
Full day of Moto followed by podcast.
Podcasting. I'm supposed to also be doing some horrible volume of deadlift and good morning, which I'm making worse and worse and worse by not doing
it. What, today you're going to be doing that?
Yeah. It's going to be it's like 7 sets of good mornings and 6 sets of deadlifts. But yeah, I'm just going to have to do it after this.
What time is it there now? It's 8 o'clock there, yeah?
Yeah, an hour in front of you. So
that's that's the normal time for training.
Yeah.
After a full day, that's what we do.
All bushed. Yeah, it's not the thing with the Moto. It's not too bad because it's not like a super full day, but it is pretty intense. So I did one like 15-minute warm up, then the 3 20-minute sessions, and a 15-minute ish to finish. But because I don't normally do 20-minute sessions, I was battered in the session. So normally I was doing like 10 plus 2, and then for some reason I thought, well, actually, it would be a better idea just to double that.
Mm-hmm.
And the track is really bumpy, so I got pretty horrible arm pump like straight away in the 10-minute one. So then what I was trying to do is ride 10 minutes at like fast-ish pace, and then back off a little bit and do another 10 at say 70%, just to try and get my arms used to riding, because it's super bumpy.
So the good mornings will be fun then, holding on to the bar if you had a
and the deadlift. Good morning's not so bad, is it? Because good morning's on your back. Yeah?
Oh yeah, I was thinking of Romanian deadlifts.
Romanian deadlift. Yeah, well, the other thing in the program is like normally 48 million sets of Romanian deadlift, but like this week, these last couple of sessions are the last big volume ones, I think. And then in the Juggernaut app, it's got this like waving intensity graphic to show what the intensity is of like the squat, the bench, and the deadlift, and the thing overall. And all the bars are like super high at the start. And then after this week, so I have a deload next week, and then after that, all the bar lengths drop down, but the intensity goes up, which means basically it's less volume, but more weight. So that'll be interesting. Because I'm now, I think this is probably like 9 weeks into this one. Something like that. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And the last time around, I think before I broke my hip, I was also like 9 weeks into that one.
So you're about to hit a PB on Juggernaut AI usage.
Yeah, Juggernaut AI consecutive streak. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Do they have any like gamification things in there? Like, do you get like awards or rewards for?
No,
just actual real life rewards, getting stronger.
Yeah, just real life benefit. Yeah, of mental health and strength. But yeah, it's not a bad idea. Actually, it's coming, isn't it? Gamification, or is it already here?
Yeah.
But we'll get.
It's like your Duolingo thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I won that in the end. Did I tell you? I won the whole thing. I won the whole thing. I won the diamond, because we were talking about it, and I was saying, this is lunatics in the Diamond League who have got like, in the first day they were doing like 3,000 points, and it takes like, I don't know how long it takes, hours basically to get that many points. So that week I managed to get in the top 3, but I think I didn't win that first week. But I got through the Obsidian League, which is the Black League, and got in the Diamond League. And then the first week they were just lunatics, so I didn't win that one, but I was in the top 3. And then the next week I managed to win it the next week, because it's pretty random the amount of points that they end up with, like the highest achieving player or participant. So on one of them it was like 17,000 points, and then the next week it was like 1,700 points, and I was doing like 4,000 or 5,000 points anyway. So yeah, I won the top league, but not against the top players.
Is that like when you turn up to a powerlifting meet and you win it, but you're the only person?
Yeah, you're in like you're in like masters under 6 foot 38 kilo category. Yeah, that one basically.
Yeah. Still a win.
We can't talk that. We've never been here. So.
Count it.
Yeah, win to win.
It all counts.
Play against
no one else turns up.
You got to be in the race to win the race, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I'm a little bit low in here.
Yeah, you always do that. Have you got your little booster seat to sit on?
Well,
what t-shirt you got on? Is that a block bad boy? Boom, 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 boom. It's like the start of Star Wars, that was.
Yeah. That isn't even the start of Star Wars, is it?
Something like that.
It is a block. It is a block. I put the block on, and I was looking for a hat because my hair is a bit unruly.
I don't ever have that issue.
That's a bit better.
Here you go. You look more jacked now.
So
Maybe you can win that out
we're
angle.
going to do this, and now we're going to see. No.
I've got a jumper on, so I've got no chance.
Yes! Look at them pipe cleaners.
Yep.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah, I think you got it. I think you just had bad lighting last time.
Well, I didn't turn over or anything, did I? That was the other thing. I saw the thing on the story, and I was like, what? 2%? I only got 2 votes.
Yeah.
One, yeah. I only got 2 friends there.
Those blind kids really like you.
I did get out angle, to be fair. And but I didn't realise there was even an angle going on. I didn't realise it was going to turn into a competition. Otherwise, I'd have hit.
No, I just wanted it for a screenshot
before we started.
Well, when sometimes if I have the time, I'll do the clips from the podcast, and I think I got to the end, and I saw that was like the end screen of the thing, because like the little cards came up, and I thought, oh, I'll just grab that and I'll chuck it on the stories, because yeah, like we were talking about when we messaged earlier on, like stories are good. I like doing the stories. It's just a nice way to
doing the stories,
get involved. Because I was sat just literally before I came on, I was like, oh, it's my day to post some content today. I was thinking I haven't really been doing a lot of training, and the training that I have been doing, I haven't been videoing because I'm on deload, and no one's got time for that. No one wants to see me squat. What I do, 86 kilos.
Literally like that, maybe.
So yeah, so I got a little coffee on the go just before I came in, because you obviously you're into motocross, and we talked about motocross a few times on the podcast, and that's what you've been doing the stories on today. And I thought, oh, actually, I like coffee. So I got Chloe to take some photos of me making a coffee today, and she's so good. She's such a good little photographer. Chloe is 6. I know you know that, but not everybody else does. But
yeah,
you know,
yeah, I know that.
Yeah. Just like taking like cool little photos. It's like I messed up the heart, but she like got some close-ups of.
It's kind of like a heart balloon. Or...
Yeah, she said, "Is it a balloon or is it a heart?" And I said, "It's a heart balloon."
Go with that.
So she got that on the go. Yeah, she's like a decent little photographer.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about coffee later on. Wow. She took some really good photos in London as well. I went to London. She was taking
a budding photographer in the making.
She's got
does she like it as well?
She does. She really likes taking photos, taking videos. She's got a camera. She's got all that. But she's just like, it's not, when she takes a photo, you think, oh, make sure you get everybody in and make sure you get this in and that in. And she just kind of gets it and just goes like effortless. And then you look at it, it's like, that's actually a really good photo. That's a really good photo. And everybody else is like, squeeze in together. Come here. Oh, the lights here, the lights there. No, wait there. Yeah, but she just goes, poof. It's a good one.
Got to get the volume of the photos in, and you get some decent stuff. But does she take loads of photos, or is she just?
I asked her to take loads of photos. Then I said, "I'll just keep taking photos. Take as many as you like."
Yeah.
So, and then she got a bit carried away. She's like, she lost track of the brief. She was taking photos of her pink chair. She's taking photos of some of the dolls that she'd just drawn on 5 minutes before that she got upset about. Yeah, she's good.
It's like a huge thunderstorm about to start.
So
I can hear it with noise cancelling headphones on. I heard the bang through. Wow, that's kicking off outside. Oh no, because it's been super strong weather here in the last week, like crazy storms and floods. But the storms weren't that crazy, just a lot of water.
You showed the video of the next town over, like washing away.
That's right.
Was the van okay in the bottom?
Yeah, because I didn't leave it down there, and then actually the water didn't get that close to the apartment. So there is a river that runs past here, but the houses that were next to the river only on one side. For some reason, I guess that side of the river must be the actual river bank must be a bit lower. Yeah. So those houses, it looked like the water got up to them, but on the opposite side, which is the side I'm on, it looked like it didn't come as far at the bank. Like it got over the path, because there's like a little path you can walk down next to the river. So that managed to knock the fence down most of the way down. But then the houses are a little bit raised up, which makes sense because they probably did it for that reason. So it didn't get to those houses right next to the river. So I'm a little bit further away, probably good, I don't know, a straight line, maybe 500 meters away from the river. So it has to do a lot of volume of water to do another 500 meters and keep
got lazy.
So,
didn't want it enough. Didn't put the effort in.
Wasn't that interested in getting the van. So that was good. So she survived. And there's just a little, it's like there's a lot of water in the ground. So downstairs in the basement in the cage garage, that's all. You can see the water has come into the floor. So it's not actually wet, but now the floor is dark. And it's like, it's like humid now. So
that's nice.
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah. So that's pleasant. At least it's a little bit cooler, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 31 degrees C in. Oh,
Jesus. Sorry.
I heard that.
You hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. It cut it out after a second. But I heard it, yeah. Was that your lights just went off?
Oh, God. No, it wasn't the lights went off. That was the lightning.
Oh, really? I made the screen go black.
Yeah.
This will be an interesting one. This may be a short one. You'll all be pleased to know.
It was kicking off outside. And they're really close together as well, the lightning and the thunder. Like super close together, which means it's basically above here. So, wow. Yeah. Good. I'll pay attention.
Cool. So yeah, it was 31 degrees in London town. First time we've been there as a family, and I was just really on edge about how hot it was because I'm pale
like that,
and I don't like being out in the sun because I burn to a crisp.
Load up on sun cream. That does exist.
Yeah, fully sun creamed up, sought shade everywhere. It's just like it was so hot. Like just sweat just running down my back. Like Harrison and Chloe are sweaty anyway, so they're like
sweatsters,
sweaty little heads. But it was cool. That was good. Good little trip. Went on the London Eye.
Yeah, it's pretty
cool. Saw all the sights.
At night or in the daytime?
In the day. Yeah, we did that in the day. It was cool at night actually.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think I've been in that one, and I've been in similar things to that.
They've actually got a Yarmouth Eye. They've got a Yarmouth Eye
here. From up there?
Well, when we were coming back from London, we were on the Acle Strait. For those local to us will know what the Acle Strait is, and you could see the Yarmouth Eye across the fields and was it Braden Water? And I said to Claire, "Oh, there's the Yarmouth Eye. It's not quite as impressive." And she was like, "Oh yeah," and I went, "Oh, I don't know what you'd look at."
2P pushes.
Yeah, but they're all indoors. You look at the building that the 2P pushes are in, and like I don't know, some dogs having sex or something. I don't know what you'd look at. I really don't know what you'd look at. There's nothing to see.
The Pleasure Beach, and that must light up in the Pleasure Hills. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Where's that? That's not great.
That's Lowestoft. You might be able to on a clear day. Oh, on a clear day from Galston, you can see Lowestoft.
You can see Lowestoft.
You can see the most easterly point of the UK with the giant windmill on it, wind turbine on it. Oh yeah, you can see. You can see it.
I haven't got one. There's no Salzburg Eye.
No. Saw your friend, the artist guy, was posted something about. He was doing all different sports I'm sure he said it was Salzburg, but there was like a guy surfing on like a rapid river. That was so cool.
It's here. It's just down the road. They've got 2 boards in the office.
Yeah, they look really cool.
Basically river surfing.
It reminded me of you see it on cruise ships. Don't you? They have like the constant flow of water. Yeah. Is that what it's actually designed for, or is that just a river that people have found and then they've?
No, yeah, it's just a river, and you can surf in it.
That's crazy.
Because there's some, I don't know if it's a break or a lock or something like that, but basically the flow changes and you end up with this, like a rapid type situation, like a little bit of a wave in there, and you have to sort of jump in from the side. I haven't tried it yet. You have to kind of jump in.
Maybe try it after a couple of weeks once you've got over week 9. The curse of week 9.
But apparently the best time to do it is early in the morning because then there's not so many people. Like you have to take turns. So it's only small. It's literally like a narrow river.
Yeah, that's good. I was like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I have to go and give that a try. But it's the river runs straight off the glacier, so it's freezing cold.
Oh, nice.
Even in summer, it's cold.
Yeah.
But it's super, super hot, so it's probably not that bad. So today it was about 30 degrees here, 29, 30 degrees outside.
Yeah. I tell you, I think we were really lucky with the amount of people in London at the time. We tubed it everywhere. Harrison and Chloe and Claire actually were really good, because Claire doesn't like confined spaces. So we were getting on the tubes everywhere. And, up and down the escalators, all that kind of stuff. And there was only one train ride, which was like sardines. Like everybody was crammed together. And that was the last one back on the Monday, back out to Stratford. But I was thinking, like, how on earth did it not get like 100 times worse for COVID with people traveling like that?
Well, it did, I think.
No, but I mean worse, like even worse than that. Because there was, there's absolutely, if one person in there had it, you'd all get it.
Yeah, but I think it was mayhem though, wasn't it? I think maybe it couldn't have got any worse. Do you know what I mean? It's still bad. No, isn't it? I don't know.
It's getting worse again.
It's like, it's going.
They're literally unlocking things now, going, oh, it's July 19th, it's Freedom Day. People are like,
let's go,
burning their masks and stuff. Yeah. And then it's like everybody's getting pinged now by the app. You got to isolate. I think the football might have contributed towards it, because there was a lot of people in the same place.
Anywhere there's people close together while you haven't got vaccination and all this stuff. How does the pinging thing work?
I think if you check in at places. I don't know, you wouldn't have seen it. So you have this NHS app, which it's the track and trace app, which costs billions. Like, I'm talking billions of pounds, and it's not worth billions of pounds. But you go to a restaurant and you sign yourself in at the restaurant. Mm-hmm. Then if somebody else tests positive who's signed into that restaurant, it pings everybody else that was at that place at that time. And then it tells you have to isolate for however many days. But it can't tell if you were near that person, because here it's like you get that type of scenario. If someone tests positive and then you were in a room with them, for example, and it's confirmed that you were in a room with them, and then, within a meter away or whatever for X amount of time, and all this sort of thing. So it's like a sort of so that's happening. At my work, there's lots of people having to isolate and all that kind of jazz. So it's quite. Then you have to isolate, but if you just go and get a test, can you get out of that? I don't know. I've not really looked into it. As always, I have half truths. Yeah. And hearsay. That's what I base my. I had one here. Do you remember? I don't know if I told you or not. I got a positive antigen test. I think it was like the quick one they do that everyone was getting. Yeah. So it said it was positive. And I was like, well, I don't think I'm positive. But I had to then that evening go and get a proper PCR test, which they do free. Yeah, I remember now. And then you have to wait 2 days for them to tell you, oh, no, actually, you haven't got it. And I was like, okay, great. So I was like, I could have told you that. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I knew that. But then at least you don't have to do a full isolation. Yeah. But I suppose it wasn't the same thing. I wasn't actually in contact with anybody. It was just working out if I actually had it or not at that point. And then it would have gone to everybody else who I'd been around. I suppose that they would have then got their ping in theory. But it started. Kids are off school, so my two finished last week. So this is the first week of the summer holidays. But it started ramping up in the schools as well. Like there was a couple of classes that had to not go in and stuff like that. Like in the last week of the holidays. So that would have been a bit of a bummer of a start to the holidays, having to self-isolate. Yeah, I saw the numbers went a bit crazy. But it's in like tens of thousands per day of new cases, isn't it? At the moment, I think in the UK it's like 300 a day here, for example. Yeah. But then there's not 10 times less people, but and there's more testing. They do a lot more testing as well, I think. To be honest, I'm not really up to date with any of it, because it's like anything, it just becomes white noise, and I get bored of watching the news, and I just start anything that makes me feel down, I'll try and avoid, and that's a bit of a downer. I did that after about a month, when I was like watching it every day on the news, and when it first started, and I was like, you know what, stressed me out. Yeah, made me worry. It was like that when it was just like hysteria. Yeah, Do you want to tell you a bit more about my London trip? This is the furthest I've gone in 19 months. So I've got London stories.
Yeah, hit me.
They're not very long.
Okay.
And you can probably do the same thing. Now, right? You can probably do the same thing here as well. But we went to Five Guys. Do you have Five Guys in Austria?
No, have
you ever been to Five Guys? Oh, baby. Hands down, best burger I've ever eaten.
Really?
Yeah, man, they're so fucking good. So good. And they're expensive as well.
But better than Zach's, for example?
Better than really? Yeah. No, absolutely no competition.
You didn't go to Big Al's because you didn't come to Spain?
Didn't go to Big Al's.
Big Al's.
Black Run Burger in Andorra.
Oh, yeah. Well, what, better than that?
Better.
Just talking crazy talk.
For a start, here's some news for you. For a start, a normal burger just comes as a double. If you want a single burger, you have to order a little burger. They have 2 patties, cool. And then any toppings that they have, you choose what toppings you want, and if you want all of the toppings, which I always do, it's called all the way. So I have a bacon cheeseburger all the way, and it's something like £9, but man, so good. They just do it so right there.
Can you make it even bigger?
What? I don't know. I daren't ask. It's a big burger as well. It's good.
With Big Al's, you can go and do the Junior Widowmaker, which is gigantic. It's like 6 burgers, I think.
6.
And then Widowmaker is like 8 burgers. Yeah, like a stack of.
Give me a challenge.
I never tried it in the end because I used to be able to eat a lot, and then I had my crash and mess my stomach up, so I couldn't really eat so much anymore.
I can't eat as much anymore. So we went to Five Guys. I can't remember what we did. We went to the Natural History Museum, and there's too much there. You can't do that. Like there's just too much stuff there.
A days worth of
it's mental. Really impressive building, really nice. You walk in, there's like a blue whale skeleton hanging off the ceiling. There's that kind of like night at the museum vibe. Really, really cool place. Lots of stuff in there. But I was just like, I just got sick of it. I was like, there was a whole hall, not like a school hall, like I don't know, the biggest room you can imagine, just full of minerals in cases. And I'm like,
who's interested in that?
I can't do all these minerals.
It's like, okay, it's another rock.
Yeah. But if you like that kind of stuff, and it's free to get in. So I think like if you are studying minerals, you just go to the Natural History Museum and look at the minerals.
There's a lot of minerals there.
There was a lot there. Dinosaurs, all that kind of stuff. So that was really good. But then we needed to get some food, and it was getting late, and we were around Kensington, South Kensington. And we were thinking, we could go somewhere else and try and find somewhere like nice to eat, blah, blah, blah. And there was a Five Guys there. And we just went, no, it's too hot. Let's just go in the Five Guys. Had air conditioning downstairs. Perfect. So I ordered 2 burgers, 2 hot dogs, and 1 portion of chips. So and with the chips, what they do is the bag that you order it in, they like scoop into like a little tub, like a cup, and put the chips in the bag, in the cup, and then they get the scoop and they basically just throw them all in the bag. So you've just got like a bag of chips. And there's loads, man. It's like £5 for a portion of chips, but there's just so much there.
Yeah, a lot of chips.
And Harrison and Chloe wanted a hot dog. So I'd been stood up all the previous day, been stood up that morning, like wandering around the Natural History Museum. And then I was standing, I just wanted to sit down in some air conditioning, standing waiting for these burgers. And they cooked them there and they handed them over. And so I was like, finally, walked back to the table, sat down. Here's yours, here's yours, here's yours. Basically, I went to unwrap mine and I heard this. No. And I just went, I knew exactly what happened. And I just went, Chloe. She literally picked up the hot dog and just dropped it on the floor. It's like £7, this hot dog. And Claire luckily just went, it's okay. And she got it, and then she went and got another one and just replaced it for her. But it's just classic. Right. Just like, oh my God.
Cool. That's cool they replaced it then.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So that, I mean, it cost them like 40p.
If that, probably.
It's good.
I would have expected them to say, well, yeah, sorry. you're going to be buying another hot dog, sweetheart.
And the guy who was flipping the burgers looked like he was under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress for that guy. He was he was barking orders one direction. He was sending food down another direction. Some woman was coming, giving him shit for something he'd done. Like really well-spoken, intelligent, switched-on guy that was just under so much fucking pressure to get the perfect burgers out. It's just like, man, what? Like, it doesn't matter what problems you've got, does it? You could have like what would seemingly be the world's smallest problem of cooking a burger. But that would be just the worst thing to try and get right. Yeah. And I was thinking that poor guy's probably there for about 15 hours. He was on it.
He's doing it right though. That's the important thing, isn't it? It's how you do one thing, is how you do everything.
Yeah.
So
cool. He was on it. What else did we do? Mainly food related. We went to the Rainforest Cafe. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, there was. I think I've been to it.
Yeah,
I've been to it.
I think it's a chain. Like I'm sure there was a Rainforest Cafe in Mexico when we went to Mexico, but it's basically all done out like a rainforest, obviously, and there's lots of like animatronic animals and things, and they like make the thunder and lightning come, and like a whole tropical storm sort of deal, and it was hell. It was so loud. It was so much noise. We had a table directly under an animatronic bird that would not shut the fuck up. The same noise every like 12 seconds.
Yeah, I was just
like, oh my God, I've just got to get through this. And I struggle with noise as it is. Claire's bought me these little in-ear flare audio things to try and like turn down like shrill noises for me. They like alter your ears, the ear canal somehow. Anyway, I only got them today. They don't seem to work. But anything like that, if I have to, I'm literally sat there just on edge, getting wound up by it the whole time. I can't concentrate with noise. It's getting worse and worse as they're like working from home and stuff. So sitting there eating, waiting for food with like, there's just kids everywhere, rainforest noises. There's a giant gorilla like off to the side that wakes up and for the best part of 4 minutes will not shut the fuck up. Is like shaking stuff. I was like, yeah, this is cool. But as a kid, that would have been awesome. Amazing, that would have been fucking brilliant. So I'm there going, are you having a good time? I'm like, yeah. And there like the food was good and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully they'll remember that, and it'll be really, really cool for them. But yeah, that was, if you want a relaxing evening, I can't recommend the Rainforest Cafe.
It's not the place to go. I've got a funny feeling that it does rain in there as well.
It didn't when we were there, but maybe if they have a leak, probably. There might be like a wet section like you get to sit in.
Something, in the rain.
Yeah.
I thought there was one in Barcelona. I think it was like a fairy forest or something, Forest Cafe. But yeah, it was basically like, it's called the Forest of the Fairies Cafe, but nothing like that. Basically, it's just like a bit dark with some plastic trees and stuff inside.
Yeah,
not really a rainforest, some fairy decoration.
So that was basically the trip. We did lots of sightseeing bits and pieces as well, like Big Ben and Westminster Abbey, and we went to try and see 10 Downing Street and Tower Bridge and all that kind of stuff. And it seems to be the case wherever we go to see something, there'll always be like scaffolding up it. So you take the time to go and see like Big Ben, and Big Ben is just covered in scaffolding. It's like,
closed for construction.
Okay, cool.
That's good job, Big Ben.
That's fine.
I did that with the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, which is this huge church, like Gaudi designed church, but for
is that like a spiky looking?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's amazing looking, but for like the 10 years that I was there, more or less, like all of it had some sort of scaffolding, and sometimes like almost the entire side of it or something covered in scaffolding. I think it's maybe nearly finished now.
Yeah.
But it's like this amazing site, but like half it looks like a building site.
Yeah. Which is cool because they're trying to preserve it and keep it like that. So if they don't do that, it will just fall over and look like shit and won't be there for very long. I've been actually
trying to finish it.
Oh, right.
Because I think, he built or was involved in the building of like a huge part of it, but it wasn't finished. And I think they were actually trying to finish it too.
Did half a job, Gaudi. Sort it out.
It's pretty amazing. There's loads of cool stuff like that in Barcelona. Very cool. Oh, good. I didn't do any cool trips. I gave up coffee. No, he's confused about it. It's over.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I couldn't concentrate. Yeah, I just couldn't concentrate. And I was like, and I watched, for some reason, something came up on, I think it was on Instagram or something. It was like a Joe Rogan snippet of him talking to this guy about coffee and how this guy was basically just talking about it like it was a drug, which is the caffeine in it. And he's like actually dependent on the caffeine, and he gave it up for 3 months and said it was like the worst 3 months of his life. He was like looking at life through a filter, it felt like, when he was off for coffee. And I was like, you know what? I don't want that. I don't want to be dependent on this coffee, because I don't drink a lot of it. But it was getting a bit too much of a habit, you know what I mean? And I was like fancying a coffee. And then if I was there, I think, oh yeah, I'll just have a coffee. And I was like, no, yeah, I don't want that anymore. So yeah, just
cheeky little coffee in there.
Knocked that on the head. But yeah, it was really difficult on Friday, because now about 2 weeks since I started doing it. And on Friday, I was, for some reason, like dying for a coffee. And then I was just thinking, man, I get it now why it's so difficult for people to like give up smoking or something like that, because your body's like conditioned to want it, isn't it? It's like really quite a strange feeling, because I don't think there's anything else. Like I never smoked or don't need drugs or anything like that. So it's probably the first thing that I've had that bit of an itch to have it that was a little bit out of control. Do you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, you know what? No, not anymore. So stop that. And side effect is basically I can sleep better.
Yeah. Cool. But were you drinking coffee in the evenings?
Not in the evening so much, but often like have lunch and then have a coffee, because you get a bit sleepy after lunch. So then I'd have a coffee. And actually, when I first started drinking coffee a little bit in Spain, because I never drank it in the UK, but then now we're talking about like 10 years worth of drinking coffee. Do you know what I mean? So like when I went to Spain the first time, 2010, didn't drink it at all. I think we might have talked about this. And then we used to go and ride enduro, and we'd stop and have a coffee. And it was actually really nice coffee, which was cool. So I like, actually liked drinking the coffee, which is one thing, which is cool. And didn't really drink very much of it, but I made a point in the UK of not drinking it because of some RE teacher, I think, that we had at school, whose breath stank so bad of coffee. I was like, I never ever want to be this guy, so I'm not going to drink.
Coffee breath's not good.
Yeah, so that's not cool. So I started drinking it a little bit, and then got a bit into drinking it. I'm not into it like you're into it. And then got a bit into drinking it, and then we drink it a little bit at work and stuff, because I liked it more than anything. But then here, I'm doing a bit different type of work and having to work late and stuff sometimes, and just feeling a little bit sort of sluggish. So I started to drink it a little bit more, and then it got a little bit too regular. And then it's to the point where, okay, I'll go and get a coffee. And I was like, no, I don't need to be relying on that. So stop that. And was a bit concerned, because this guy in the Joe Rogan podcast was saying, it's basically like the worst 3 months of his life. He had proper withdrawal symptoms, really bad headaches and stuff like that. And I was like, I think I'm still not going to continue to drink this based on the fact that I don't want to experience a headache and then be relying on coffee. I was like, no. So let's see how it goes. And I'm kind of done now, I think, because I got over the hump on Friday. I think that was a bit of a tipping point scenario there. Whereas like if I had just folded then I'd have been in trouble. But unfortunately, instead, there's some juice at work. And so what I was drinking instead of coffee was juice. I think that's actually even worse, because then like with all the sugar in the juice, it's just natural juice, like a 50-50 mix of water and juice, but they get it in from some local juice
merchant.
Yeah, juice man. So I got that instead, and that actually made me feel a little bit hungover, because there's so much sugar in it, because I don't really have much sugar. So it swings around back. So now I've got to stop the juice.
Get off the juice. There's always something in there. There's always something.
But I tend to not have anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Like I tend to not really get too involved in any of that stuff, because I don't really like to be feeling like I need to have it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
just don't.
Sometimes I'll think, oh yeah, like I drink coffee every day, and sometimes I think, oh right, I look forward to having a coffee.
Yeah.
And then when I don't have one, I don't really feel any different. It's like after I have a coffee, I'm like, oh yeah, amazing, feel great now. Like the other day, I don't think I had one until like maybe 10:30, 11 or something, just because I was busy doing stuff. I didn't have time to make one. And then when I had one, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't like I really want a coffee. Oh, I miss my coffee. But
I think some people really need it to get going in the morning.
Yeah.
Like they have to have a coffee, otherwise they can't.
I get that, because if I go train in the morning, I'll like to have either like a Nocco, which is like an energy drink, which hasn't got any sugar in,
Caffeine,
it's caffeine. Or I'll go to, like, there's a McDonald's near the CrossFit box, and I'll just swing around the drive-through and I'll get a little flat white or something, like a little coffee, because I feel like before I train I need to have that. And I used to have that all the time, but with Monster energy drinks and like big cans of energy drink. Like if I was going to do a session, I'd like, I have to have like an energy drink to do that. And that I had one like every time I trained, and I was like stacking up cans of Monster, and I was always having cans of Monster and things like that. And I don't need that. It's just a psychological thing. Like I don't need that.
I think no, it is proven though, isn't it? Like it's a scientifically proven thing that it does improve performance. Caffeine doesn't it? At least endurance performance. So there is that side of it as well.
Yeah.
But I just didn't like the fact that this guy was saying, basically like relying on caffeine. I was thinking, well,
you're like, you don't know me.
Yeah. I was like, what are we talking about? What you're just going to accept that? That's all right, is it?
So this guy quit for 3 months and then went back to it because he
went back to it, basically. And he said the first time that he had coffee after those 3 months, it was like a psychedelic experience. I can try and find the link.
Must be some good coffee.
I didn't really pay that much attention to who the guy actually was. But yeah, he was just talking about coffee, and I was just thinking at the time, like I was feeling like it was making me feel more tired, I think.
Yeah.
Because you're like on this bit of a roller coaster, aren't you? Because I'm going to get this all completely wrong now, the science behind this, but basically I think it suppresses some receptors in your brain that are related to like sleep pressure, because there's like this sleep cycle wave, and sleep pressure increases and like the urge to sleep increases, and then when you drink a coffee, the caffeine basically suppresses that urge to sleep, but it's still building up. So you suppress it, but still the urge to sleep is building up behind it. So when the caffeine finally wears off, then you crash, get KO'd. And then I think it probably ends up in a bit of a cycle, isn't it? Like as you build up like more and more of this sleep pressure, you don't really get rid of it by sleeping. Then you end up needing more and more coffee to feel awake. So I was like, let's see how we go with that. And actually I do feel pretty good, feel a lot better. But I do like it for training, not coffee, but like caffeine in a very occasionally, like in a pre-workout or something like that.
Face it.
But the problem is it really, like I'm really sensitive to it, so I go nuts basically.
I think I am sensitive to it. If I have too much caffeine, I think that does make me more in a bad mood, whereas that's where I start getting some decaf stuff. And I'll try now maybe to have like 2 coffees a day rather than 4. But decaf just tastes so bad. It's just it's nowhere near. Like I've got there's a particular coffee company called the Norfolk Coffee Company, and they do pea berry, and they've got 2 pea berries they do. One's from Kiamara, one's from Kimondo, like Tasmania, Tasmania, something like that. But anyway, they're pea berries, and I swear to God, I get excited when I open the fucking bag because it smells so good. It doesn't, like, when you like open up a pot of Nescafe and you go, oh, it smells like coffee. Like this doesn't smell like coffee. It like smells like there's something going on in this bag. It's like, it makes me feel happy when I'm like sniffing this coffee. I'm like, man, this smells good. Man, I can't wait to have some of this coffee. And then I grind it up and I get it into the port filter, so it's all ground, and so all like the aroma starts coming out. I'm like, oh baby, this is going to be good. So and I will save that. I had like 1 scoop left, and I was going to have it the other day, and I was like, no, I'm saving you for a special occasion. And I opened up another bag because I didn't want to use that last one because it's just so good. You can like smell a normal coffee next to. I don't know. It smelled like it had like it smelled more like fruits than it did of, when you get like just you smell some coffee beans, like, well, that's coffee. This is like has like depth to it and fruit to it. So I'm like,
but how do they make it?
How do they make it?
How do they make it smell of fruit?
Like, I don't know.
What are they?
I don't know. I just appreciate that they do.
You're just into the fruit.
Just appreciate the shit out of those guys.
So so I canned that, which is pretty cool though, because like some stuff, I don't know, I just don't really like having that sort of thing out of my own decision making. ability. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I need to have that now. So that's good. So dealt with that. Because I was thinking about that for a little while. I thought, you know what, let's just stop that. So I just cold turkeyed it and done.
I think that's good to do every now and again. It makes you sort of understand how strong-willed you can be, and also how you don't even notice stuff. Like you think, like it's not, you're like, it's not a problem. Just have a coffee. Oh, that's not a problem. I'll just smoke a cigarette. That's a problem. I'll just have like some food here and there, whatever it might be. And then you don't actually realize, that thing is dictating to me what I do, and it's telling my brain what to think. And then when you go, oh no, I'm not having that, I think it's a good experience to go through to give
for sure. Well,
give something up.
Control yourself, like you can't control your own brain, then you're in trouble. Like, what else can you do? Like, that's the basics. You have to be able to control your own decision making process. And if you can't, if you say no, I'm not going to drink coffee, and then you go and drink some coffee, that's not a good place to be.
Once you start saying stuff out loud, then you got to follow it through.
Now I can't drink coffee ever again.
Well, you can. That's the other thing. You need to put a time on it. Like when I did 10,000 steps a day, I didn't go, right, I'm going to do 10,000 steps a day for 6 months. I just went, right, I'm going to do 10,000 steps a day. And I ended up doing it for over a year, every single day, 10,000 steps. And when I stopped, I felt like I'd failed because I didn't put a timeline on it. I was like, right, I'm going to stop doing this now. And I felt like I'd given up, even though I'd just done that for like well over a year, every single day, rain, snow, cold, ill, whatever, just for no reason doing it as well.
I was going to say, there was no objective
thing I did.
Yeah, there was no objective either.
So
you said you would do it, so you have to do it.
Yeah, so that's like quite important when you're setting yourself an objective or a goal, is to actually put when you're successful in that.
So my goal in relation to that was basically just to be able to decide if I had a coffee or not to just like automatically think, now I didn't really ever think I needed coffee, but it was like just become a bit of a habit. That was the problem.
Imagine though, when you do have one, you're gonna have to find like a really good one. Because imagine if you like decided that no, I'm fine. I was gonna have a coffee because that's what I want to do. There's nothing to do with being addicted or anything. It's just, that's my choice to have this coffee. Imagine then going to that coffee place and getting one and it was garbage, like my cortado from Hunstanton with the skin on it. You'd just be like, fuck. Just sip it. Right, well, that's the first sip, so now I've had coffee and it's bullshit.
So I've ruined my no coffee stretch and it wasn't even worth it. It's the delayed, it's not really delayed gratification. I just wanted to see if I felt better, basically, for not drinking. That was the thing. And I do. Cool. And I still feel, because everyone has this like natural sleep cycle thing, because I haven't read about it recently, but I was having trouble sleeping and stuff anyway. So we talked about sleep a little bit on a different one, didn't we? And everyone has this natural cycle of sleep. So like whatever happens, I think with or without the coffee, you're going to feel tired in the middle of the day, and you can suppress it a bit with the coffee. But I still feel tired in the middle of the day. Do you know what I mean? Now, so it's not like I stopped the coffee and that was the cause of it. No, that was reducing the effect of that with coffee. But I still felt a bit sleepy, and now I feel the same amount of sleep without it. But I can sleep in the evening, and I feel like I don't need it anymore. So that's good.
I won't get into it too much because I can't remember it right. But there is something to do with human evolution, which has, I'm sure I remember like Dr. Matthew Walker talking about at that point in the day, that is when the sun was at its hottest in the desert. So you would escape that and sleep, something like that. There's like a natural, like you say, like an ebb and flow of when you should be resting and when you should be.
There's like a crossover point of like this sleep pressure and your sleep cycle, I think. And as they cross over, it's that point in the middle of the afternoon. With like the strongest urge to sleep and the strongest need to sleep. And that is when, nap, which is why they have a nap in Spain or Italy or whatever. That's it. Because that's part of that.
That's when I get it. Cycle. I'm like, come like 2:30. I'm like, get me out of it. So and that's when they put on. That's when they put on like health and safety and risk sessions in meetings. And you just think it's because you're so bored, but it's not. It's evolution, people. Don't believe the hype. You think it was that baguette you had at lunch, that free buffet at lunch. It's not. It's your body telling you to sleep. And that's the thing, like when I'm tired, if I want to sleep, in the afternoon. If I can get a nap, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
But then when I don't, like I could have done with one today, I had lunch and I felt like, man, like I was sitting there and I was thinking, I'm going here, I'm going to go. And then I was like, I need to train. And I was like, right, okay, let's get training done. And now, however, 5 hours later, I'm awake. So I fought the urge, but I could do with one.
I think if you can get, as these two things go through their cycles, that sleep pressure, I think the sleep pressure keeps going up, but the other part of this 2-cycle thing, which is annoying now, I can't remember what it is, basically the urge to sleep, I think, starts to go down. So as they go away from each other, the sleepiness goes away a little bit.
Yeah.
And if you have a nap, even better, because that then actually gets rid of that sleep pressure aspect.
Naps are good.
Yeah.
I've got two other things on my list, little topics to talk about. Don't know if you've got anything else. We'll roll into them.
Yeah, go for yours. I've got
a
couple of things. But
okay. So I did some summer colours for t-shirts, which look pretty sweet. I managed to put that off. Those have been sat there for so long, for like months and months, and I just didn't prioritize it because I just couldn't make a decision about what I wanted on there. And now I've got the little signature barbell logo on. They look good and I like those. And so there's a giveaway on. So by the time this actually goes out, that will be done. So congratulations to whoever won that. Well done.
Enjoy
those teas. Wrap it up. And I had a few people contact me because I was wearing some mental green stuff the other day that they really liked. And a chap who's doing a bodybuilding show in September, he dropped me a message asking about the brand and all sorts of bits and pieces, and after some custom colors. So I've been looking at some custom colors for him. So that's pretty cool. So I had a little flurry of interest there, which is nice.
The mental green thing?
The real, so the summer colors one, the green in that, it's the one I did for myself a while ago, the tester, where it's got like the GBA and like baseball style writing across it. And a chap just said, oh yeah, you wanted one of those, and a blue one in like a performance tee. So I'm going to do those for him.
Good.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Very good.
And then in training news, we had a session where we were doing power clean doubles, not touch and go. So you had to put the barbell down and not just bounce it off the floor. And I managed to get 82.5 kilos for a double, which was good.
Nice.
And then I wanted 90 for a double, and I got it for a single, and I couldn't get it for a double, and I tried twice.
Oh.
But I think it's just because I wasn't diving under it. I wasn't getting under it enough. I wasn't squatting low enough. So I was just basically muscle cleaning it. I was basically getting it to my knees.
Yeah, it doesn't really work, does it?
And then I couldn't.
It's more effort, isn't it?
Couldn't get under it. But that's there. I think I'd like to get 100 kilos this year. Power clean 100 kilos would be sweet. 90 went up
moons ago. Yeah, moons ago. But I could never jerk it as well.
Yeah, I ain't jerking that.
I wouldn't do that now for sure.
I'm going to jerk that for sure.
No chance.
My arm hurts from doing hand release push-ups.
I feel all right at the minute, actually. Not too bad, considering my hands are pretty. You can see that? No, not really. My hands are a little bit mashed up from Moto. 2 mashed up hands. Just this light in it. Jazz hand.
Not just callousy.
Yeah, same as mine. But like with the riding motocross, you get another one where you're like pressing on the palm. Like you get one here as well. So
nice.
Standard training ones, and I've got another one here. And on this one, not so bad for some reason.
I've got one.
It's okay, probably because you're moving it.
I've got this one.
That's
a little deadlift pinchy one, that is.
Yeah, it's a little deadlift one. Yeah, I've got one on this hand, but I haven't got one on this hand. Those are super callous game. I am going to Red Bull Ring tomorrow.
Oh, sweet.
Cool, which is the MotoGP track in Austria, to ride the little RC4R, which is a little KTM, it's not a mini Moto 3 bike. It's basically a Moto 3 bike for national championship. So you've got like the World Championship in MotoGP, which has the full-on prototype class from all the different manufacturers with like prototype chassis and prototype motors and stuff. Then you've got the Moto 2 class, which is Triumph motor. They put in Street Triple and all they're actually not manufacturer supported most of the time. They're like independent chassis constructors run the Moto 2 bikes. The KTM did have one that they built. Then there's a Moto 3 class, which is like the big entry level class on World Championships. And this is a little cup bike. So all the bikes are the same that they run in north of Europe. And I've done like I will do tomorrow, a little training with one of those bad boys.
Cool. So you get to cruise it around the track rather than race it. You just like an experience sort of thing.
Well, it's an actual training. So it's like a race training.
Oh, cool.
So they'll teach you like body position stuff. And
That's
this track day that we did last week, Thursday and Friday, previous week, my body position was just awful. And it's all about that really, like going fast on the track. It's not so much really about going fast, but more about lines and body position and this whole thing. And then you can build the speed on top of it. But because I haven't been on track for a long time, that was all missing. It wasn't really flowing very well.
Similar really then to sort of like power and technique in training, isn't it? Like if your technique's garbage, you can still muscle it up, but
it doesn't look pretty. It's not very efficient.
And it's not going
to last do it for very long. You're going to get hurt. Yeah, same with.
That's cool.
You can apply it to everything basically. The basics, like you need to get the fundamentals right to actually build on that base. So, but yes, that should be cool. So I'm pretty excited about that. So that is supposed to be for. We thought it was a 3-hour thing, like start to finish, which I thought that's pretty cool. But actually, we have to get there at 2:30, and then it finishes at 7 because you do 2:30 in like a briefing. Then there's an introduction to the bike for an hour. Then there's 3 hours worth of training, and then there's like a farewell thing as well. So it should be pretty cool.
I don't think you're going to get much back from the bike, are you? Hi, my name's Matt. What's your name?
Yeah, introduction. Yeah, so it's just going to be like run.
Okay, be like that.
What's your name? Brap.
Fine. Keep your secrets.
I know his name. It's RC4.
RC4.
R2D2. R2D2. So that's pretty cool. But they're tiny though. This is the problem. So the training is normally for kids, but I was like, well, it sounds pretty cool. And it would be quite a nice little track bike.
Yeah.
Because it's based on a KTM motocross bike. So it's not. It's like the sort of art. I don't want to say archetype. It's not the right word. The structure of the bike, or sort of the idea of behind the bike, this super lightweight, single cylinder, quite high performance.
Call it its spirit.
Yeah, you could call it spirit or philosophy behind the bike, maybe. It's like a training bike, so for the kids to learn how to ride and get body position right and all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's based on a KTM motocross bike, so it means the engine is quite easy to maintain. You can get parts, and the chassis is based on the motocross bike as well, but they've put a different swing arm and different forks and stuff. So I think you can get hold of them on the open market. I would imagine there will be some around. So it's quite a nice little track bike to have something that's quite similar to a Moto 3, like a World Championship bike, but for much less cost and then a bit easier to maintain. Pretty cool. So I was just thinking about that, and then I saw this training and thought, well, that'd be cool.
So then you're going to ride it, and then you're going to want one.
I'll probably just ride it home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure if I want one or not, because the problem with it is I think they're really small. You have to be super precise, and I'm a bit old to be super precise now. I like the idea of being precise, but I think the reality of it
too much hard work.
Yeah, so like the 125 that I have, the motocross bike as well, is the same idea as that, and I'm starting to get the hang of it now. But
it's like if I went head to head with Harrison in a Fortnite death match, he would just crush me now.
Yeah. So you like the idea of trying to learn, but you just shoot him with a real gun on you. Yeah. That'd finish it. So that's the idea, is that. But you can also get these cool little mini bikes. They do mini bike training there now, not mini moto. Now mini moto isn't such a thing. There's like, I don't even know what they're called really. They're more like a midi bike, I suppose.
I've seen a lot of people on Instagram like racing them around. So they're like a third of the size of a motocross bike, sort of little.
Yeah, well, this is another branch of stuff. So there's pit bikes, which are the third of the size of the motocross bike thing. So that's an off-road one. And then there's a road one, like a track one. So it's like a shrunken MotoGP bike, not MotoGP performance, but the style of it is like a MotoGP bike. But they had, you remember mini motos were like a craze for a little while. They're really tiny, but you couldn't really get on them. Like an adult couldn't really get on it. Even a kid was small for a kid. And now they've got these sort of blown up version of this with a 4-stroke engine, which you can actually get on and practice proper body position and stuff for racing. So they also do that. I thought this one would be cool, this little RC4R, because it's this sort of slightly more accessible Moto 3 bike.
Awesome.
So that'd be cool. So I'm doing that tomorrow. It's a bit of a try over there. It's like 2.5 hours over there, but it'll be cool to go to see the track, because in 3 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, like the 7th and 8th of August is the first MotoGP in Austria there. And then there's another round of MotoGP straight after. They like do 2 in a row at the Austria track.
Oh, cool.
So I get to ride around the track, and then I've got a ticket for MotoGP.
Oh, nice.
So I get to see the MotoGP.
So going. That's cool.
Yep.
Do you have to take like tests and stuff? Do you have to do is there any corona safety stuff before attending a MotoGP?
I would imagine there is. I think normally all this stuff is like a 3G. They call it 3G here, which is like, are you tested, vaccinated, or recovered?
Mm-hmm.
But they all start with G here. I can't remember what they are. So there'll be that sort of control.
Vaccinated.
Yeah. I think it is something like, it's like gesimpft.
Gesimpft, gesumpt, and gesamt.
It's like, it is. It's like getested, gesimpft, and gesamt. Yeah. So I think they'll have that control on the way in, and I'm like double jabbed anyway. So I've got my EU vaccine certificate.
Yeah.
So that's been moved around in the EU, and will let me get in there, I assume.
Good.
And I guess if people haven't got that, they won't be able to go. Because
or they just buy one off eBay.
Yeah, or they just Photoshop it or whatever.
Cool. I haven't got much going on this coming week. No days off, but I'm going into, what am I going to be going into? Block. So it's the same block, isn't it? I keep writing block. It's cycle 2.
Cycle 2 of your reset stuff.
Yes. So yeah, it's 5s a week. No, is it cycle 2 or is it cycle 3? I can't remember, but I'll be aiming to do as many reps as I can on all of that.
But you put them, so you went down on some numbers, so you could then go up on volume. So now you've put numbers up on everything from last time. Did you get 5 on everything in 1 week?
I will tell you exactly what I got. A 6, a 5, a 5, and a 5.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's good.
So yeah, so now they should stay around there. Is the idea from Big Jim?
Yeah,
they should stay around 5.
That'd be good.
This is a bit weird, this juggernaut program, because it's this power building program, which is a bit of a new thing for me, because normally I'm always doing like the squat, bench, deadlift, and basically it doesn't really matter what everything else is doing because they're all just trying to build those up.
Yeah.
But now this is like the main movements and stuff like Romanian deadlift. It's like rep max on Romanian deadlift. Like,
what's the point?
I'm not going to win a cup for that, am I? And then Romanian deadlift. Yeah, today it's like rep max on good mornings. What do I get? For
good morning, champ.
No prize for that, is there? So that's interesting. So I was like contemplating switching back to the powerlifting, but it's this old trick that we see a lot, don't we? Where
if it's working,
things going okay, so everything's going all right. So what I should do is just abandon that program completely and do something else.
I'm the opposite. I'm just like, none of this is working. I'm going to stick with it.
Keep plowing with it. Yeah. Keep plowing. So, but that'll be cool next week to see how this volume changes. Well, after the deload week, it'll be cool.
All right.
Nothing else? No, I don't think so. No.
Good roundup.
Yeah.
Good hustle.
Very good.
Now you've got some training to do. Bang on it.
Yeah.
Now you've got training to do. No caffeine to help you. Just grit.
Yeah, I've got to do it, though, man. I've got to go down and do it. I might even just put straps on or whatever. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to hold on to the bar.
Get it done.
To destroy it. So
hook them on.
Let's go.
Cool. All right then, boy.
All right.
Have a good one. Enjoy. I shall catch you later.
Later.
Yeah, boy.